Hi, friends, and welcome back to another episode of This is for the Soul, the podcast. And I'm your host, Brianna Sade. So, today we're going to be talking about the power of forgiveness. And it's so crazy because I wanted to make an episode about this, and I was on Twitter and I seen this tweet that said, forgiving others is the gateway to practicing self forgiveness. And that is 100% true. And it's just the timing of me seeing that tweet was crazy. But I kind of want to unpack that because yesterday I stumbled across a video called The Power of Forgiveness and the Science of Happiness. And it was basically an experimental video. And the guy had the participants pick someone who wronged them in their life and practice as if they were in the room and express their forgiveness to them. But the catch was they had to do it in front of a mirror. And a lot of the people were like, what? A mirror? Like, I don't know about this. But while watching that experiment unfold, I saw how powerful looking into the mirror actually was because the whole point of the experiment and using the mirror was to symbolize that true forgiveness comes from within. So, when it comes to forgiveness, I kind of look at it in two ways. Like, okay, you have the person who did the action and trying to forgive them. But if you're struggling to forgive a person who did something wrong to you, you also have to look within yourself and see why it's so hard for you to let go and make peace with that situation. I've struggled with forgiving others for a long time. There's a true underlying meaning as to why, and I kind of had to dig down and dig deep and figure out what the internal issue was, because if I want to truly be at peace with myself, why would I let what someone else did continuously have control over my emotions and stress me the hell out, right? And I could just simply let it go and be. But it's easier said than done for a lot of people because when we look at situations, if somebody hurt us, we are so focused on the hurt. We're not focused on the actual person. It's always, you hurt me, you did this, you did da 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 da. And we're so quick to find something or somebody to blame that anger on instead of going within and realizing the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, holding on to anger and resentment is a waste of energy. It's a waste of energy, it's a waste of time, and you're truly giving that other person way more power than they deserve. Even if that person doesn't deserve your forgiveness at all, it brings in so much more peace. The one big thing that trips people up when it comes to forgiving others is the whole forgive and forget motto. Just because you forgive someone does not mean that you have to forget and be all kumbaya with that person again like nothing happened. That's not the case at all. At the end of the day, you do have free will and your feelings are validated. How you feel is how you feel. You're forgiving them just for yourself, for peace of mind. Practicing forgiveness is a selfish act. It's not for the other person, it's for you. You can't change the past. What's done is done. All you can do is just move forward and hope for the best. And this is so beneficial because you're leaving opportunity open for all possible outcomes. By not holding on to unnecessary anger and resentment, you're allowing the universe to bring everything into alignment, even if it's not how you expected it to be. Now, I want to go back to self for a second because I know that a lot of us are our biggest self critics, one, and we oftentimes judge ourselves the hardest for things that we can't control. I make one mistake and then all of a sudden I'm a dumb bitch. Like, let's be for real. I am not afraid to admit that I say mean things to myself. It happens. And does that make it okay? No. But being aware is a great start in the process of cultivating better habits so I can start expressing more self compassion, being more nicer to myself, and just changing my narrative. So instead of blaming myself for all of the mistakes I make, I've replaced those habits telling myself it's okay. It was just an accident. Don't trip. Players fuck up. And just being more gentle with my words because believe it or not, you subconsciously believe everything that you say to yourself. Words are very powerful. And if you don't know that by now, just look at your situation and the life you live and the things that you say to yourself. And I'm pretty sure that you will believe me once you do that. But anyway, back on track. I also suffer with mental health conditions. I have ADHD and I have anxiety, and I've done a lot better with not identifying with that. I realize that when I'm stuck in a rut or if I'm in a tough situation or I'm just feeling like everything around me is crumbling, I tend to blame my mental health. And then I start spiraling and then I start adding all this unnecessary pressure and stress on me for no reason and making my mind my downfall, and it's just a mess, you know? And because of that, that also contributes to why I tend to be so hard on myself and why it makes it so much harder for me to express forgiveness to myself. If I can't easily forgive myself for the little things that I've done and for the problems that I may have that, like I said, are completely out of my control, then it's going to be 100% harder for me to let go of something that someone did that hurt me. So don't make your mind your downfall. There are also other things and societal pressures that cause us to have such cold hearts and not be so compassionate to others and forgiving. But moral of the story is we should not have to carry a lot of those unnecessary stressors. It's just like the more you hold on to that, the more that it festers and then it spreads and it turns and it manifests into other issues and other problems within your life. And I've seen it happen. So, that's why it's just so important to be unbothered, because the more unbothered you are, the easier life will be. It's so much easier to let something go than to hold on to something, because whatever that person did to you 10 years ago, it's in the past, and people literally still hold on to shit that happened to them years and years and years ago. But all right, friends, I am going to end this episode right here. Always, thank you so much for listening. I am so grateful to all. If you are listening to this on a streaming platform, don't forget to leave me a nice little review. And if you are viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can continue to see more content from moi. And I will talk to you next episode. Bye.